What's up, y'all? Salutations. Man, it's such a pleasure to be here. I'm coming all the way from New York City, so this is like super dope. So I want to talk about the AI renaissance. Is anybody, just by round of applause, people that are currently using AI? Can we? Okay. And then just round of applause, anybody that's not using AI right now. Okay. All right, one in the back. All right, cool. Hopefully by the end of this talk, I can kind of like get you like convinced to like, you know, this is a moment that you should probably use AI. But the AI renaissance, like this is where we're at right now. We're in this AI revolution. AI is changing and reshaping our lives and the way we're going to do business, the way we do creativity, everything, right? So I tend to focus on creativity. My name, for those that don't know, is King Willonius. I'm a stand-up comedian, AI storyteller, musician. I wear a lot of hats, multi-hyphenate. My story started, I would say like 2 years ago. I was just kind of like a normal comedian trying to figure things out. And I had this song that went like mega viral. And it was called BBL Drizzy. I don't know if some of you guys might have heard of it. But it pretty much changed my life. And it was almost like, I don't know, does anybody know what a BBL is? Does anybody not know what a BBL is? Okay, if you don't know what a BBL is, it stands for Brazilian butt lift. It's a really cool thing. They're really popular in the States. I'm a fan of it. My life was very similar to somebody getting the BBL, because like pre-BBL, I was just kind of like this comedian trying to figure things out. Post-BBL, I'm getting flued out, hanging out with celebrities. I'm living life like a baddie. It was amazing. So the reason I'm so pro AI is because like prior to making BBL Drizzy, I was this comedian, you know, trying to break into the TV landscape. I was an aspiring TV writer, and I was going through this TV writing fellowship, and was all set up. I had a really amazing script. I had like agents and managers looking at my script. I was like, man, this is it. I'm about to be signed. I'm about to be the next big TV writer. And then a writer strike happened. And then, you know, if you guys know about the writer strike, it was pretty much, it put a halt to everything that was happening in Hollywood. And I was like really confused, right? Because I was like, man, this is like my opportunity. I was about to break through. And then the writer strike happened. And then I remember like trying to put like scripts out on Instagram, still trying to like, you know, feed my creative juices. But at the same time, ChatGPT had dropped, and I was like messing around with AI, you know, 24/7. I'm spending 8+ hours a day using ChatGPT, learning how to prompt. And I remember being in group chats with my friends that were like writers as well, and they were all like anti-AI. They were like, you know, FAI, like this thing sucks, and all these different things. Meanwhile, I'm like, yo, these prompts are like amazing. So I had like a pretty much like a soul-searching moment where, you know, I'm messing around with AI every day, but I didn't want to get blackballed by the WGA because I'm using these tools, and AI was a big reason that the writer strike happened. So I remember sitting in my room, and I was just like, okay, like, what do I do? Like, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to burn bridges. Like, I don't want to be exiled by the industry. And I remember looking at like all the checks that I got from the WGA, and it was zero. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just lean into AI. So that's what I did. I started like making AI trailers from like these scripts that I had, and just kept like every week I was just putting out AI content, and like building like a little fan base, you know, on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot. And then I don't know if you guys know, Drake and Kendrick had this big beef. It was probably like the biggest hip hop beef in the world, and I created this song while in the midst of the beef called BBL Drizzy. And it happened because this rapper, Rick Ross, he was like going at Drake. He said Drake had fake abs, and he started calling him BBL Drizzy. And I saw it trending on Twitter one day, so I decided like to make a song about it. It went like mega viral. People were making songs about it or videos about it on TikTok. There were like nuns making videos to it. People were getting married to this song. Like, it was insane. Got so big that Time Magazine recognized me as one of the top 100 creators, or I'm sorry, top 100 most influential people in AI for 2024. It's an amazing year. All because I leaned into AI. So AI storytelling. This is what I want to talk about. Like, and when I say AI storytelling, I mean that this allows us to really tell our own narratives, right? Because there's people that like to make music, that like to write poems, to create stories. Maybe they're writers, but they don't have the means to actually like create films or storytell in the way that they want to. Now, with AI and the tools that are available, you can do that. You can tell any type of story that you want, you know, whether it be something that's action-packed, something more drama-focused, more be a rom-com. On top of that, you know, if you are somebody that loves to make music, you can make all types of music. Like my song that went viral was a Motown-type song. You can make opera, you can make Afrobeats, whatever. You know, you now have the tools to do whatever it is that you want to do. So let's talk about the new creative class. What is and who are the new creative class? The new creative class, these are individuals that are bold, right? They're unapologetic, they're not waiting. That's the biggest advantage that I had last year was just that I just wasn't scared. You know, while all of my friends and peers, they were like, oh, we're scared of AI, it's gonna take jobs, it's gonna do X, Y, and Z. I was just like, look, man, I don't have any option. I don't know what else to do. So I just decided to lean in. And all the individuals now that are actually taking the risk, right, and just deciding to create, they're creating opportunities for themselves. It's actually been my mantra for the year. It's just like the more you create, the more opportunities you create for yourself. So this is where it was like a big shift for me, right, was where, you know, a lot of times I hear a lot of people saying like AI is going to take jobs, and I was talking to one of my friends, and you know he was like, oh man, you know, I don't like AI because it's just about to take jobs. It's going to take my job, and like this is crazy, and you know that like we're not going to not be able to work and this and that. And I was like, no, like Dan, like you're a drug dealer. Like what are you talking about? Like you don't even work as it is, but. It's a lot of fear, even for my friend. Like he was, you know what I'm saying, for what he did, he was still scared about it. But I choose, and I like to try to tell people to like reframe that thinking, right? Instead of thinking about what AI can take away from you, think about what AI could do for you, right? Like what if you actually put your creativity on top of AI? Use these tools. What could you actually build? What could you imagine? What type of problems could you actually solve if you decided to actually learn and deploy these tools? Now, the coolest thing about AI that I love is like, you don't have to deal with gatekeepers, right? You can bypass that. For me, like now, I'm at a point now where a lot of people in Hollywood, they actually come to me, the same people that wouldn't return phone calls or wouldn't return emails, now they're hitting me up, asking me to like, hey, can you help me with these tools? And I remember I had a conversation with an individual a couple years ago, and we were talking about just like the creator economy. And I was like, man, he was a VC. And I was like, man, you know, it'd be so dope if VCs invested in creators the same way they invest in like tech companies. And I was like just imagine like you investing in like a young Donald Glover. And he was like, well, you're not Donald Glover and you don't have a hit. And it bothered me at the moment because I know he only said that to try to make me feel small. A year later, I got, you know, had the biggest AI song ever. And I don't know where he's at, but I'm in Time Magazine. So, but the point is, you know, you don't have to deal with these individuals no more, right? Like now, because of these tools, the moment you think of something, you can move at the speed of culture. That's the reason a lot of my songs have gone viral, because as soon as I think of something, I deploy it. The new creative stack. All right, so there are a lot of tools, right? And a lot of times when I get asked to consult or people ask me to come speak about AI, they're like, what are the tools that we need, right, in order to do what you do, either make films or make music or just like what do I need in my Batman tool belt? You need a large language model, right? Whether it be ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Gemini, you know, Bing, Chat, which is cool. No shot. If it's out from Microsoft, like you're whatever. But you need a large language model, right? You need that just to be able to help you decipher all the different things. You need image generator. So Midjourney is like the best tool that's out there for creating images. They just launched a video tool, which is amazing. If you're making films, you need a video generator. So you can use VO3. Runway, Luma Labs, Sora is amazing. And then if you're actually making like music, I recommend Udio. Or if you're deciding to do like voiceovers, you can use like 11 Labs that allows you to clone any type of voice. You can take 5 seconds of anybody's voice and you can clone that. But you need to have like a creative stack that you can create your tools with. And then I want to say that time is the real scarcity. So speed is where we're at right now, right? So these tools allow us to like move really fast, right? As soon as we come up with an idea, we can act on it. We don't have to wait on anybody, again, like I said before. But if we wait, like for instance, when I made BBL Drizzy, it was a Motown song, sounded like a 70s song. But had I used traditional means, right, I would have completely missed the moment. I would have had to hire a 70s soul singer, had to go to the studio, mix and master the song. My cover art was a Gen AI picture of a soul singer, Motown singer. I would have had to go find this guy, do a photo shoot, put everything out. I would have completely missed the moment. But again, with these tools, you can create at the speed of culture. As soon as you have an idea, boom, you can put it out. And then the cool thing about now is like with these tools, a lot of people are monetizing, a lot of people are creating amazing revenue streams, multiple revenue streams for themselves. So it's an amazing moment to be an AI creator. So the challenge, the opportunity that we have right now is do we decide to actually like lean into these tools, right? Like a lot of people, they see what I did and they saw that I went viral and they're like, oh, I want to do something similar to you. But the only thing that separates me from a lot of people is I was just consistent and I didn't have any fear, right? And I noticed that a lot of times we overthink, we kind of miss moments just because like we decide that, things aren't perfect. I don't have the perfect lighting. I don't have the perfect camera. Maybe I don't have the perfect caption. Maybe I'm not beautiful enough today. Like all these different reasons that, we put limiting beliefs on ourselves, right? But again, we have the tools now. All we got to do is just decide to act and take action. That's why it's like, I've been telling myself lately, I've been calling myself a human doing versus a human being, because I realize that that's really just the big change in my life. I just decided to just do things, right? And whether you do things right or wrong, it really kind of doesn't matter, like you just got to do things. This is I got like 5 minutes left. So I guess I could take a couple questions, but this is my social. If you guys wanted to follow me on Instagram, I post a lot of my content on Instagram, so a lot of videos, a lot of songs, and a lot of comedic content. So, is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, we did have a question.
Just out of curiosity, so you blew up over the BBL song. How was that emotionally and personally? Like, how do you adjust to all that attention all of a sudden? Just curious.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the question was, after I went viral, like how do I adjust to all the attention? It's been very challenging, but in a good way, right? That was the song was very interesting because it blew up because of Metro Boomin. A lot of people didn't know that it was me, so it kind of still allowed me to kind of move around and just like operate how I normally operate. But for a long time, I've been doing comedy for about 20 years. And so like this was like I finally felt like I broke through, so it was very like satisfying to be like, man, I finally got to the other side. But it's been a challenge just trying to like manage, because one, when you have a moment like that, you want to keep having moments like that. So it's almost like you hit a home run and you want to keep hitting home runs. So you have to learn to just be like, you know what, sometimes it's okay to get a bat. Just get a base, But the biggest thing that I learned, and I try to stress to everybody, and I told you this yesterday, consistency is everything. Whether you're consistently good or consistently bad, just stay consistent. Because if you're consistently good, then obviously you'll get noticed. If you're consistently bad, people are going to wonder why you keep going. They're like, okay, this guy must be like, there's something there. Like why, like these things that he putting out are terrible, but he won't stop. So essentially, you can create like a cult-like following, and people are just like, hey, we're all in on this joke that this guy's making really bad stuff, but it's it's just kind of like we're trolling. But consistency and then just taking consistent action. This is the best thing that you can do in this AI revolution. Learn the tools, learn where you can actually find the tools. Like that's super important. So knowing what the tools do, where they're located, and then how to navigate around them. Because you don't have to learn everything. Once you kind of know a tool, like right now, AI agents are really big, automation is really big, but you can use a ChatGPT, you can use a Claude to help you navigate around that. But you need to know what the tools are and like what they can actually do. Is that cool? Okay, any other questions? Oh, yeah, one more. Okay.
Yeah, really lovely having you here in Amsterdam. So quick one, when you hit the limit of any AI tools, let's say with some text, with some video, with some image models, when you hit the limit, like you figure out with whatever prompt, they couldn't give you the thing you want, how you deal with this kind of frustration when you're using AI for creation?
Hold on, can you say it one more?
How you deal with the frustration of hitting the limit of the current AI models in image, text, video, and you figure out there's no other prompts that help you go forward with these models. When you hit that kind of limit, how you deal with this kind of frustration or mental struggle?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the frustrations that come with AI, I mean, that's just part of it. That 6 months from now, probably a month from now, these models are going to get even better. But, part of the fun part is the problem solving, right? So you're like, okay, well, this is where we're at right now. Especially I was making a lot of AI videos. So they were, like a year ago, a lot of the videos you can only get like slow motion, right? You couldn't get a lot of lip movement, like lip sync or whatever. So you would have to do a lot of voiceover work. Like, so it was just like the stories that you told were kind of like narratives where it was just like somebody narrating it, right? So this was just where we were at, So I just look at it as like this is a challenge. We have to overcome it because at the end of the day, you want to tell some type of story, and you just have to work around it, But again, in a couple months, the challenges that we have now won't exist, right? And then like the models, if anybody in here uses these tools, they get better and better, right? Like VO3 has solved a lot of the challenges, like where we used to have to stack 3 or 4 different programs. Now you can do everything in just one platform. So the challenges are fun because they're not going to exist in a couple months. So I appreciate the challenges we have now because they won't be there soon. Is that all?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Appreciate
King
y'all. Thank you.
Willonius. Thank you so much.